Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for calling this hearing, and I want to thank the witnesses for appearing today, too. SNAP is, of course, America's most important anti-hunger program. It reduces poverty and food insecurity and improves health and economic outcomes for more than 42 million Americans, especially children. People receive an average of $1.40 per meal through the SNAP program, and in order to be on it, you have to complete a detailed application and provide documentation on your income, identity, immigration status, and address. Nearly 90% of people on SNAP belong to households with children under the age of 18 or elderly persons over 60 or a family member with disabilities. In my home state of Maryland, over 696,000 people benefit from SNAP. In my district, it's 15,000 households. SNAP allows families to purchase nutritious meals in retailer locations, including farmers markets. This is a program that I think matters to every member of Congress. Americans in every single congressional district benefit from SNAP. I looked at all of our districts, Mr. Chairman, and there are tens of thousands of our constituents who are on the SNAP program. The hearing occurs 1 week before the 2018 Farm Bill is slated for consideration on the House floor. That bill would impose dramatic new requirements that would effectively stop more than 2 million Americans in need from receiving food aid under SNAP. That comes after the House passed a $1.5 trillion tax cut that will give the wealthiest 1% of tax filers $84 billion in 2019 alone. As it turns out, the tax cut recently enacted could finance the entire SNAP program for nearly a year and a half. In fiscal year 2017, the cost of the entire SNAP program was $68 billion. So I find it touching that we can give away billions in tax dollars to corporate investors who don't actually need it and don't have to prove that they're even working to receive their tax bonanza, while at the same time planning to increase work requirements and cut food aid for Americans who are going hungry. I know that some will try to justify cuts to SNAP with allegations of fraud and abuse, and undoubtedly there are corrections that can be made to the 3% of payments that are wrong. More of them, I understand it, underpayments than overpayments. But in fact, SNAP has one of the lowest fraud rates in the government at less than 5%. Over the last several years, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has taken aggressive steps to improve SNAP oversight and to work with states on rooting out waste. USDA has brought down the rate of trafficking to about 1% of benefits over the last 20 years. While all of us agree that waste, fraud, and abuse need to be rooted out, I think there are clearly other places in the government we could be looking. Mr. Chairman, I'll just close on that thought that we had a hearing that found that there were $125 billion in immediate savings that would be available by cutting waste at the Pentagon, and I would hope we'd be able to focus on that too.